Are we doing introductions?
Yeah, if you want to start, go for it.
Oh shit! I volunteered myself.
You did.
I'm Sovereign. They them. I'm playing Chef Faedraar of the Hearth. Any pronouns for them, and I do art most of the time. Whenever I'm not playing D&D and making new characters constantly.
Hey, I'm Doug. I am from Good Better Quest. It's a actual play podcast that is silly and has a lot of heart. And I'm also the intro voice on the Deadlands.
Nice.
See what else. That's about it. I like playing games.
Oh man, I thought you sounded familiar. I was like, have I met this person?
Oh yeah, y'all about to find out that cowboy voice wasn't far off from my regular voice.
It's a good voice. It's a good voice.
I'm Matt. I go by Matt the Scrap Heap everywhere. I'll be playing Faedraar today. It's spelled like birds. The B is silent. And I'm excited to be here. I guess, like I say, I'm a cosplayer now since I've done it twice.
Yeah, woo! One of us.
Oh, I am Alex. I am the Deco DM on Twitter and elsewhere. And I like playing tabletop RPGs of all kinds.
Well, I sure
Either
hope
playing
so.
or running. Either playing or
Right.
running.
This story begins in the country of Falmount, at the very top of the landing where the royal family resides. It's a huge mesa with dangerous roads and twists and turns to prevent those that aren't wanted from making the journey up. The royal family lives quite literally high above the rest of the country, and Crown's Peak is home to many of the wealthier, luckier people of Falmount. The streets are paved in the nicest stone, and the grass is maintained by the livestock in their pens. The air is clear and smells of baked goods and home-cooked meals from the various restaurants that are scattered around Crown's Peak. Dogs run freely in the streets, playing with children and other dogs, some begging for scraps as some civilians walk around with food. Crown's Peak truly feels like the safest place in the world, with a magical barrier around it to keep creatures from flying in. Guards are at various checkpoints throughout the winding trek up the mountain-like mesa to even get up here. The safety definitely adds to the beauty. But you're not up here to enjoy the sights. You're not here to enjoy the restaurants or the safety. You are here to ensure that it remains that way. The streets are busier than normal, as many citizens and officials were allowed in to witness the coronation of the new king. King Vessimer's age has caught up to him, and he announced the decision to renounce his throne to his son Carlisle, so that he could witness his son's rule while he's still coherent enough to acknowledge it. Due to the importance of this day, King Vessimer hired extra hands as sort of temporary guards, adding to his already large pool of guards and soldiers as it is. Better safe than sorry, especially on a day as important as this one. They quite literally could only have one shot at this coronation, with Prince Carlisle being his only son. And King Vessimer wants to be sure it goes smoothly. The citizens of Falmount have been a little worried down below. Worried about the losses of arcane magics throughout the land. And it has many citizens in a state of panic. Panic at the unknown. King Vessimer is hoping that the coronation of his son into the throne will be a decent distraction from the lessening and loss of magic. So, you are a few of the newly hired members, and you are standing near the castle gates to wait for the sound of the trumpet that would announce that everyone needs to gather into position. 2 of you are standing on one side of the stairs, and 2 of you are on the other side, standing behind sort of a line of the more official guards. that are standing there waiting for the royals to come out as well. No trumpet has sounded yet, and the streets and the area in front of the castle are currently filled with chatter. Let's see. We'll do it how it's on my screen. So we are going to do Doug and Alex are on one side, and the other two are on the other side. So Doug and Alex, why don't you describe to us what your characters look like, and kind of their demeanor as they're standing here waiting to fulfill their duties.
After you.
All right, thanks. So Baston is standing there, and they're quite taller than the folks around them. They are about 6'2", and very broad in the shoulders, and they have a small smile and a very delicate face, and they are looking terribly bored, and leaning on a heavy two-handed maul that is part of their gear. They were in a chain shirt, and on the chain shirt is a leather patch that has a symbol of three hands, like one inside the other. And they are also go by the title The Third Hand.
Canny is stood next to this gentleman, probably a similar kind of height, and also fairly broad, but he has like a leather sort of waistcoat thing, and his arms are out, but he's got sort of a chain mail underneath, and he's got a sort of like a fairly sort of well cropped beard, and he's completely bald, and his body is sort of scratched and sort of scarred over after a lifetime of sort of adventuring and what have you, rough and tumble. Weapon wise, he's got a hand axe on either hip, and a whip on one side, and he's just stood there with his arms crossed, sort of looking at everybody. He looks quite cheerful to a certain extent, and he's sort of like, he's quite happy to be there, and he's sort of taking it all in. And he also has got braces on either wrist. But he's quite happy, and he's looking around and sort of, if anybody nods, he'll sort of nod and sort of, he's quite cheery.
Can we say they like pass back and forth just some kind of lame jokes, like they have some little small talk, and they make a few silly jokes that nobody really thinks are funny, but it's like talking about the weather, and I think that maybe sizing each other up just a little bit, just to make sure what you're doing. Yeah.
The other two on the other side, do you want to describe same thing, your appearance and
I'll do that. Faedraar is kind of stands out amongst the crowd. He is a kind of golden in color, and he's a dragonborn, and he's fairly tall, but also kind of lithe, especially for a dragonborn, who are seen as more of the bulky sort. But there's also something else that stands out about them. Unlike most of the other people here who are guards, they seem dressed to be more. They look like they should be in the kitchen, with black slacks and a black jacket, and they looking a little fancy, except for the giant wok that she is carrying. It's big enough to cover her sufficiently, but also big enough to get a good swing in, it looks like. And also, strangely enough, looks very comfortable, like in this environment in particular, chatting up other guards. It seems like they know other people, they're cracking jokes, oh hey, stuff like that. but this comfortability seems to be false in a way. He is very comfortable, but also it seems that, in between chatter, he's scanning out over the crowd or just very aware despite this comfortability.
This is my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Vet Fangren is also what stands out, but not because they're tall. It's because they're much shorter than everyone else. But at standing around about 3.5 feet, Vet's looking around the room, studying everyone. If you look closely, you notice he's a red kobold, but he has weird markings all over his body. His hands, his face. You're not like, it's weird. Like they might be tattoos, you're not sure. You'll notice he's openly holding a crossbow. But outside of that, you can't tell any more weapons. You can see the outline of armor underneath his large black cloak that's covering him. And he wouldn't be making conversation, just studying the room. Exits, people.
Would you say they like make eye contact or something since they're both studying and things like that?
I would say so, yeah.
So I would say Faedraar, kind of scanning the room, and then something about you catches her eye, and she's like, "Oh, a little one here," and the people she's talking to kind of turn, and are kind of looking around like, there's a kid here, and she very slowly moves through the crowd towards you, and kind of kneels down and is like, "Hello, little one. Are you lost?"
I'll look you dead in the eyes. Don't patronize me, Tallborn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to patronize you. You were just I don't think you are allowed to be here. Where are your parents?
I'll actually look. You'll notice I turn my head. Tallborn, I am a kobold. I am not a child.
Oh, your name is Kobold. Yes, I'm sure you are a very big boy.
My name is Vet Fangren.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're on business.
Are you just very short man?
I am a kobold.
Yes, your name.
Throw my hands up in federation.
My name is Faedraar, Chef Faedraar. It's very pleasure to meet you.
Met you, Dragonborn, is what I have to say.
And there's a moment where you're like trying to figure out how to respond to that, and a couple of the actual guards kind of turn and glance back for a moment, like, what is going on back there? But before you can respond, the trumpet sounds, and you watch the crowd's attention turn towards the castle's doors. The guards turn back to stand at attention, and you kind of get into place behind them. As the trumpet player walks down the laid out, like, royal purple carpet, the sound travels more and more, and that causes more and more people to turn and begin to gather and turn their attention towards these doors, which are soon pushed open to reveal King Vessimer walking out with his queen on his arm, and he smiles at the crowd and he waves at everyone. This is probably the first time many of you have even seen the king. Not a very social family. You've seen paintings, and you've seen, various depictions of them, so you know who you're looking at. There are a few cheers, and the trumpet player finally stops, and all fall silent. And in this silence, you hear a few, like, coughs, or a few, like, people whispering to each other. And then the person playing the trumpet announces loudly, I give you for the final time, King Arnold Vessimer. And you hear some people like light clapping, and then it turns into this full applause. The citizens celebrate their king for a final time, and King Vessimer finally holds up his hand, and the crowd's applause falls silent once again. He's looking out at everyone, he even makes eye contact with most of his guards, just especially the newly hired, just because there's this very recent trust built with most of you. And his eyes are kind, and they've definitely softened with age. And he says out to everyone, it has been a pleasure and an honor leading Falmount with yet another peaceful rule. While other countries suffered civil wars, we thrived with cooperation, and we stood tall and firm in our ways. I have no doubt that your new king will lead with the same fearless compassion as I have. So please join me in welcoming, for the last time, Prince Carlisle Vessimer. And you hear some applause again. And, everyone make a perception roll for me.
First roll of the night, let's go.
My perceptions. Well, my perception's pretty good.
That's a 7. Faedraar ain't seeing shit. The king is just so captivating.
Rolled a 13 plus 4, 17.
I got a massive 4.
Ooh.
Hey, better than 1.
Just.
Doug,
Oh, that would be 2.
muted.
Yeah, hey, I just realized I can't see my dice. I need to turn an overhead light on.
All right.
Sorry.
No worries. I was getting set up today, and I got everything all ready, and then I was like, dice, I need dice. I'm playing a game that I need dice.
I'm starting to feel like I'm going to stop using this dice. I'm going to stop using it because it doesn't roll very well for me at all. Maybe it's maybe my tray's not straight. I'm going to go with my tray's not straight.
There you go.
That's what it is. Oh, that's much better.
On my desk mat.
I rolled over 10.
Thanks. I got an 18.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Oh gosh, I gotta remember your names. This is the problem, Matt, with you playing in multiple things at the same time with me, is I'm like, I don't know what your name is.
At least I'm not wearing the same thing.
That's true. That'll be a little bit easier. And it's Vet, right? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Vet and Bastion both looking around. You're keeping a pretty good eye on like everything but where everyone's attention is turned. You know, you're making sure you're looking everywhere else. The other two, you're definitely like, yeah, I am here to watch this coronation. And the prince comes out of the doorway, and he's a tall man in his early 20s, blonde hair that kind of flows down in waves, not quite to his shoulders, but almost. He's got these piercing blue eyes and this like wickedly charming smile. He waves to the public. His sword is at his side, and he steps to take his mother's place beside his father. As the crowd quiets down, he stands with his hands locked in front of him, and he waits to speak until everyone is quiet. And he says, "My father's rule was inspirational. I assure you I will lead this country in the same manner as he has." And there's a way about it where it sounds like it's been rehearsed a few times, almost like this false confidence as he's saying these words and making these assurances, and he's clearly nervous underneath. He's just a kid. After those words, another person steps out of the castle entrance, and you see a man with a crown on a purple cushion. and he moves to stand between King Arnold Vessimer and Prince Carlisle. Arnold unsheathes his sword with a satisfying sound, and he asks his son to kneel before him. Carlisle does so. As you were knighted in your coming of age, I know that I now knight you in a very new way. And he touches the blade to one shoulder.
Same thing. It's like,
Amazing. I wish I could give you a Benny, but I can't. That's not this game. Touches the blade to a shoulder. I am proud to call you my son, and I am even prouder. And he moves the blade to the other shoulder. To call you are, and an explosion interrupts from the castle's walls as debris is blown outward toward the crowd. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Carrie, could I have advantage if you think my feet would help here, telekinetic? So if any debris is like hitting, I can knock it 5 feet away. Like, I can also use another ability. I just don't want to reveal my subclass yet.
Let me search that real quick.
Oh wait, no, I'm confused. Telekinetic's only for a creature. My bad. My other abilities for objects, but that's only if as a.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking at that.
My bad.
Yeah. I mean, I would allow it if you were trying to shove someone like out of the way of debris. I would allow it.
So, nat 20.
Nice.
So, what can Faedraar grab that?
I rolled a 9 plus 3, 12.
Sure.
Okay, so Faedraar, as this explosion goes off, is immediately going to grab Vet. And Vet, as you're hoisted off the ground and kind of bear hugged, you see two massive, like, ghosts of wings kind of clamped down in front of you, almost as a shield. And as the explosion roars past.
What did the other two get? What did
I got 19.
Okay.
And I got a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of you, I will say, except for the natural 20, that is exactly what happens there. You're not knocked off your feet or anything with the natural 20. But Bastion and is it Canny?
Canny.
All you're both blasted off your feet. You manage to, as it's more of the force that pushes you off your feet rather than any debris or anything, but you kind of slam down onto your side or your back, and as you're kind of looking over, you're able to kind of dodge out of the way of a few bigger chunks of debris coming down. You've caught yourself into a position where you can at least have a better idea of what's happening here. All of you can look over. You see anybody here has been just pushed over. Like, everyone's knocked prone from this. The king is knocked over. You hear like the sword clatter to the ground. And the entire like front corner portion of this castle on this first floor here has just been blasted outward. You see rock and stone kind of shifting down. Dust is up. It's kind of obscuring the area.
Where's the prince?
As you're looking, you kind of look over to try to see the prince. The dust is pushing outward and it's hard to see, only for a moment. And then you see people rushing toward you out of the dust with their weapons drawn. So, fighters.
Okay.
Let's roll initiative.
Let's
crikey.
fight!
It's time to
Crikey.
fight!
No messing. Oh.
17.
This is my initiative.
Oh, crikey.
My initiative.
I got 22.
Damn.
Seems
I
so
got-
sounds- yeah.
22 too.
Woo!
Nice.
You got 222.
Yes.
What the?
Yeah, I got a 19 plus 3.
100.
300.
Spartans.
What was yours, Doug?
Oh.
12.
Starting a level 9 character is fun. You have so many options.
Yeah,
I
right.
really like level 6 to level 9 because I feel like you're not like too powerful to where everything is super easy, but you're also not new. You get some cool stuff. So first up, we have Vet and Kenny, both at the same time. You can choose to go together, or you can choose to do something cool at the same time, or you can decide which one goes first between the two of you. I do not care.
I'm currently restrained by a Dragonborn, correct?
Yes.
Now I'm going to use my telekinetic to push that Faedraar off of me. It's a saving throw. I believe it's strength against my 8 plus my proficiency plus my intelligence.
So what's the DC?
8 plus 4, that's 12. 15 strength saving throw.
17 plus 3, so 20.
I am still restrained. She did not move. That was my bonus action, luckily.
So what does that look like as you attempt that?
She feels a huge, just like, get off me! And she feels like a huge, like, back, like my body did not move in that situation. She would notice that I did not move. She just felt a sudden, like, push him.
No, yeah,
Tell me.
so Faedraar is like pushed back, but still manages to hold on to Vet. But upon that happening, just really taken aback and just kind of tosses him forward.
Gotcha. And with
Wait,
that,
how far do I throw him?
how far do you throw me?
If you wanted to, you can just willingly let him go so that he can take the rest of his turn, if that's what you
go
want
on.
to do.
By all
Yeah.
means.
Gotcha.
It's all good.
Did Canny want you to say? I just wanted to try to get myself off the Dragonborn before I make my actual attacks. That was just my bonus attack.
Right, go.
I was saying if Canny wanted to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he will. I'm guessing we'll get up. He'll get up and go, rubbing his fell on the old bum. Right. Is Baston close to him? Are they sort of? Did they fall?
Yeah, you'd be pretty close to each other.
Okay. I would like to, as I'm imagining the room is full of dust and.
You're actually all right outside the castle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, he will reach down and extend a hand to Baston and help him up. Sort of, looks like we're up, mate. And then I would like to look around and see if I can see anything to run towards. Cause...
Yeah, you look over, you see people rushing in. They don't appear to have been citizens that were around watching. They are in like light leather armor and they are rushing forward with swords drawn.
Would I get the impression that they are not friendly?
Yes.
Okay.
Many of them are currently like engaging with other guards as well. They seem to be trying to get to that stairway where the prince and the king were.
Okay. Are there any near myself?
Yeah, one is rushing up to you pretty quickly.
Okay, I will like to punch him in the face.
Sure.
Oh, you don't look like a friendly mate. Oh, I got an 18.
18. Where are my notes? All right, roll damage.
Okay. Yes, everything's been obscured. Oh, so that is 10.
10. All right. Yeah, so this person's rushing up to you. They have a sword in their hand. As they come up, they raise their sword. Like, it's just a short sword, but they have it in both hands, and they're just raising it up to just slam down at you. But as they bring it back, you just pop right in the face. And they like stagger. Actually, their speed, when you hit them, it basically like clothesline them, and you see their feet come up in the air, and they slam down onto their back. Anything else for your turn? You should have.
Okay. I was going to say, I get 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Yes. While he's down on the floor, going, that's not very nice, mate. I don't think you were invited. And he will kick him.
Great. Fantastic. Are you like stomping?
No, it's more of a sort of kick him across the ground.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of thing.
Hey, you want us to declare lethal or non-lethal damage if we're attacking someone, or just or when we go for it?
You don't have to declare it beforehand. Just
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
wanted to check. I won't be making non-lethal attacks though.
the damage.
I rolled a 14 to hit.
Oh, 14 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to cast gun.
Cast a gun.
That's what I was gonna do.
All right. So as you what did you say? I don't think you were invited.
I was going to kick him. He's, oh yeah. I don't think you were invited, mate.
You bring your foot back, and as you go to kick, he like leans into your kick and grabs onto your leg, and it doesn't. It doesn't
what's your
quite.
game, mate?
Yeah, he's just holding on at this point. Is that your turn?
Yes, I think that would probably be it.
All right. Vet, did you have anything else?
Yep, I got both my actions still.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna, after being dropped by the Dragonborn, I'm gonna stumble for a second, getting my crossbow ready. Like, damn, Dragonborns! Weird. I'm gonna take aim at like the first person I see.
Okay.
Let me pull up. I'm gonna. It's a light crossbow, by the way. Okay. I have a +7 to hit. Rolling now. That's 9 + 7, 16 to hit.
16 hits. Go ahead.
Gotcha. I'm gonna. I'm also gonna pump a Psionic Strike into it.
Great.
And with using Psionic Strike, I have an ability that when I use it, I can force him to make a strength saving throw to either be knocked back 10 feet or knocked prone. I'm gonna try to knock him prone with it.
Okay.
It'll be a 15 strength saving throw.
That's a fail.
Ooh, so he's prone. Let me roll my damage now. Let me get that D8. Never rolled it before. That's 7 + 3. That's 10. Now I gotta roll my D6. Wait, no, it's a D8 too because it's higher level. Psionic Strike. So that's an 8. So I did 18 damage, and they're knocked prone.
Okay, so you stood up, kind of looked around. All of these attackers seem to be coming from various different places as they're coming in, but the one closest, you see there was one running like right beside the one that had just been punched in the face and fallen over. So you look over, you raise up your crossbow and you fire.
And yeah, the bolt unnaturally flies towards his ankle and he just goes down hard.
Yeah, we'll say there's even like maybe a couple people that get into the path whenever this is fired, and you just watch the arrow like dodge them and then slam just straight down towards the ankle, and as it hits, he's just swept off his feet and slammed down onto the ground.
Gotcha. I have one more action. First, you notice Vet will drop the crossbow because I'm not reloading it. I grab my head for a second in anger. Is there any large debris carried?
Oh yeah.
I want to use my telekinetic movement, which I don't have to use a psionic dice for it. It's free once, and then I have to use the dice.
Okay.
I can lift a large object I can see within 30 feet of me, up to 30 feet. That person on the ground, I'm gonna move a large object above them and drop it.
Great.
I don't know what the damage would be.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You see Vet just holding his head. I close my eyes. When I reopen it, one of them is blood red, and my nose is slightly trickling blood, but you'll see a giant stone from the broken wall move right above him as he can't crawl away as his ankle, and it just, die, you sorry worm! And it just falls
slams down, like pretty close to Baston and Canny over there. Like you feel it. You feel it hit, and you kind of look back and you're like, weird. That you just assume more debris is falling, probably.
Yeah. And
all right, is that your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Fantastic. Now you all look. You see people are just swarming the area. Many of them have their weapons drawn. You watch as 3 of the king's guards, as the dust is beginning to settle, they pull King Vessimer to his feet. One guard is immediately impaled through the back, as another is just hit between the eyes with a crossbow bolt. The third turns quickly to defend, but he's overrun by too many too fast. He parries 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3, 4, but he's quickly surrounded, and a slice to his knee takes him down, and then 1 to his neck takes him out. The attackers turn to King Vessimer, and you hear one shout, "Give us back our magic." And now we're going to see which one of you gets attacked. As more of these people are coming in,
Did I miss my turn, or
Nope.
I'm just so far down in the order? Oh my god!
This is the enemy's turn. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right. So, this all works out because the person I rolled to attack is Canny, who has the leg being held. So this man is holding your leg, and he kind of looks over and he grabs onto the sword he grabs onto the sword that he drops, and he kind of flips it around, and he's gonna go to just try to slice into your ankle, like Achilles tendon, full slice. Let's see. That's gonna be a 23.
Ooh, just.
Let's see here. That is going to be 8 points of slashing damage into your ankle there.
Ow.
That is, I'll say you're experienced enough. This person probably isn't highly trained with a blade.
Okay.
They could have just they were applying the pressure in the wrong way, and you're just that slice itself, while it hurt, could have been better.
Also using a one-handed sword, two-handed.
Yeah. All right. That is my turn. Is it Faedraar?
Faedraar.
Sure. I'm gonna call you Fae. It's your turn. You're up.
Faedraar gets out the walk and hits the DM.
Roll for damage.
So seeing the king being descended upon, how far away am I from the king and Kingsguard?
You're probably about 40 feet or so. Well, with the blast, you'd probably be more like, you're at a natural 20, about 40 feet or so. But there are many bodies pushing in between you.
So, what he is going to do is, okay. So, thinking.
No worries.
Can I use that? Okay, cool. With 40 feet away, you said.
Yes, it is
Okay,
difficult terrain, if that matters.
Good to know. So it between me and the king, is it just enemies, or is it a mix of soldiers and enemies?
It's a mix. At this point, the crowd that had been surrounding here, they're starting to panic too. They're trying to get away from these people, these attackers. Some of the guards are confused who is attacking, who are the civilians. So there is just like this jumble of guards, civilians, and attackers all in this same area right here. And you just hear screams and shouts and yells.
So with difficult terrain, that would mean it would take double the amount of movement?
Correct.
So I'd have to take the dash action. Okay, that's fine. So as Faedraar is kind of recovering from this reeling of the battlefield. This child just pushed him back and with an unseen force, and there's people everywhere, but as they look up and see that the king is in danger, these wings kind of plant into the ground, and it seems like they're starting to grow taller, bigger even. I'm gonna use Giant Smite. So as a bonus action, and starts heaving almost as they grow in size, and I have advantage on strength checks and saves and deal an extra d6 on a hit once per turn. And
Fantastic.
As this heft grows, she actually descends on all fours as claws grow, and what she's going to do is she's going to grab the walk and pull it in front of her and charge forward through the crowd. I'm gonna do a dash. I'm gonna take my movement and then dash, and that's going to. So I would be pushing like just straight through the crowd. Do I need to do a strength check or anything like that?
I will say,
Would this do any damage?
Are you concerned about pushing through civilians, or is your main goal, like, are you trying to not hurt civilians, or are you just trying to get to the king?
So what Faedraar is going to be doing, pushing through this, like charging through this crowd, is going to push like civilians and soldiers out of the way, but charge through combatants.
Okay, I think I will have you make a dexterity roll for me.
Mm-hmm. To see if I hurt these motherfuckers.
Correct.
That'd be a 15.
Okay. You're able to differentiate at least 98% of them. As you're
Grandma
pushing
got
through.
pushed down. It's fine.
What is your speed?
Oh, my speed is 30.
Okay. So you could make it. I mean, you can make it to the steps. You're not quite like beside the king or anything, but with that movement and the dash, with it being difficult terrain, you can make it. You can make it up
And
there. Yeah.
Would this do any damage to anyone?
No, not from just pushing through, unless you want to like take a slice as you're pushing through at one of the baddies. You can do that.
No, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That'd be. But I did move and I dashed. But this dash was that. So like, if you're good with it, would that be an attack roll or?
I'll say for flavor, yeah, go for it. Attack roll.
Okay. That'd be a 15.
Okay, so yeah, 15 just misses. So yeah, as you're coming through, you are pushing two of them away. You realize one of them has a weapon drawn and is like gonna go for you, and you just shove them, and they're shoved. They stumble backwards like into somebody. They stumble into another guard who turns around, grabs onto them, and then now they are engaged in this fight.
Yeah, fuck them up. So what Faedraar is going to do is kind of they're at the bottom of the steps, yeah.
Correct.
So what they're going to do is then kind of take more of a defensive stance to prevent anyone from going up the steps.
Okay.
As they move back. And that's
Sounds good. Yeah, you just kind of look over like intimidatingly at anyone that might be trying to approach. Got it. All right. Yeah, Baston, it's your turn.
All right, so Baston, you know how when a toddler falls back and they land like with their legs splayed and then just on their ass, you know, like when you first see Baston, that's how they've fallen. And there's a furrow in the ground where their maul has dragged through as they tried to hold on to keep from getting blasted back. And they're laughing and coughing out dust. And they take a minute to stand up. And they see this combatant go by, and he sees Kenny punch him, and he sees his leg get stuck, and he starts he's pulling himself up on. I'm sorry, they're pulling themselves up on the mall, and they look over and they see the chef. He's taking a defensive position, and they're thinking, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. And then this boulder falls out of the damn sky, and crushes someone just off the corner of his eye, and so he figures, maybe we should just free up Candy here, and so they take their maul and raise it over their heads, and does a 14 hit?
14 does not quite hit, no.
Damn, sorry, Kenny. So that strike comes down and thuds into the ground right next to you.
You have a second attack.
Yeah, you have a second action.
Oh, that's right. Hey, y'all, guess what? This is my first fighter. So,
Mine too.
all right. So,
Welcome to the Fight Club. Woo!
yes.
We can't talk about that.
It's bad. It's like a catch-22. So the maul like hits the ground, and you hear Bastion like grumble and growl, and they just kind of, when they pull it back up off the ground, they kind of uppercut the fella who's got Kenny's knee, and let's see if we can actually get a hit this time. Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
All right, cool.
All right, let's roll that damage.
So we get that, and so as they bring the maul back up, it connects real good with the chin of that fella, and does 15 damage.
Yeah, so he had just sliced into Kenny's leg, and then sees the weapon slam down into the dirt beside him, looks over, looks up at you as you bring it back up, and just up. You see blood spray, nose is just gone. And this man falls over, no longer a threat to anyone.
Upon seeing that, Kenny will go, that's what we're talking about. Cheers, mate.
I love it. And with that, it is Vet and Kenny's turn again.
Ooh, I know what I'm doing, but Kenny.
No, you can. You if you want to go first, please do.
You sure? I did go first last time with my bonus action.
You carry on.
That's how I'm also going to lead this one with a bonus action. I'm going to use my ability, say psi-powered leap, which is I can use it once for a short rest without having to use one of my psi dice. I gain a flying speed equal to 60. And I'm propelling myself with my mind. I just figured since we have a difficult terrain and I have to get to that king, you'll suddenly see Bet grab his head. Oh, this is giving me a headache. And suddenly the dust flies around me, kind of like Neo from the Matrix. I rise above the crowd. And I'm still holding my head in the air as I fly straight towards the stairs. I'm assuming I ignore the difficult terrain.
Yeah, you are in the air. Yeah.
I travel right to the top of the stairs. Is there like two, like as it goes up and then there's like two separate stairways, or just one stairway up?
No, it's just the one big stairway that leads to the platform before the castle doors.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna appear up at the top, within 10 feet of the enemy. I drop down.
Okay.
I pull out my short, and
you kind of cut out a little bit there. You pull out your short sword.
Yep, I pull out my short sword. Is the king in my way?
In your way of the enemy?
Yeah.
There are quite a few enemies, so I would say there is at least an enemy that is not obscured by the king.
And I wouldn't have pack tactics right now, would I? There's not an ally directly next to any of them.
No, not yet.
Gotcha. Faedraar is 10 feet away from the enemies, right?
Yes.
If you moved 5 feet forward, wait, I can't use that. I can't use telekinetics bonus action.
You're just gonna.
If a willing creatures, I can do it to you. But I already used my bonus action, so I guess you just actually, since I'm 10 feet away, I won't pull out my short sword. I'll pull out my whip.
Okay.
So I don't have to get now that, and I can attack from 10 feet away with the whip. So, and I have dueling as my fighting style, so I get a +2 damage if I do it. Sorry, I have so much. So I'm gonna make attack on the first enemy in my sideline. That's natural 20.
Ooh, okay. So those of you where this is your first time playing 5e with me, natural 20s and natural 1s are a little bit different in my games. So here it's the same. You rolled a natural 20 on an attack, you're gonna crit that damage. Great. Say I had to make a saving throw for something and I roll a natural 1, I'm going to take crit damage. That's treated like a critical hit against them. Same goes for you though. If you roll a natural 1 on a save, you take crit damage. So, but if you roll a natural 20 on a save, you take no damage. Even if the spell says they take half, if it's a natural 20, you'll take 0. So just getting that out of the way now. And
Now you tell us.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Gotcha. It's a D4 plus my +3 +2 because I'm using dueling and it's the only weapon I have.
Yep, and then just double the dice amount.
Gotcha. My D4 was 2, so that's 4 damage +3 +2, so that's 9 damage. And I whip him once, and just like the song says, I'm gonna whip it again. Was it like rip it real good or something?
I think you have to roll I think you have to roll a natural 20 to whip it real good.
Yeah, I just did 15 plus 7, so 22.
Yeah,
hit.
that'll hit.
Gotcha. Another. So let me roll my D4 again. That's a 1. So that's 4 plus 2. That's 6 damage.
All right. Yeah. So you watch as this person standing here with their sword going in to try to attack this king. You actually whip their arm that is holding the sword. You see their like grip weaken a little bit, and they turn to see where it came from. And you whip again, and you actually whip. You see 2 fingers just sliced off from this whip as they let go of the sword, and they're just looking at their hand and shouting out in pain. Is that your turn?
I almost want to action surge, but that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Right. So Canny will sort of notice this little dragon, as far as he's concerned, flying through the air. God, don't see that every day, do you? And then he will run in a similar direction towards the king, as far as he can go. If he encounters someone, he will bop him on the head as best he can.
So are you willing to use one of your actions to dash?
Yeah, I think he would do. Yeah.
Okay. So you'd probably, you'd be able to make it like up to the stairs, and if you want to use your other action, just hit someone that's running by. Yeah, go for it.
Ooh. 16.
16 hits.
Yes. Mediocre. 7 damage.
7. All right, yeah. So someone's running by. They don't seem concerned with you. They're just sprinting to kind of engage with like a guard that's turned, and they've made eye contact, and this one's just running forward. And as they run by, you just what is your weapon?
I have no weapons.
You're just punching. Got it. Got it. Okay. So as they run by, you just hit them in the back of the head, or like what? You just bop right in the back of the head. They kind of stumble forward a little bit into this guard's sword, and they kind of go at it after that, and you're just moving forward. All right. So at this point, Prince Carlisle, who had been blasted down the steps, is kind of standing up right by Faye. Standing up and kind of like there's definitely, you see bruises and blood scrapes on the side of his face as he's standing up. He gets up and he's holding his ribs. He looks over, he draws his sword. He looks towards the king, who is surrounded by all of these guards, one of which, or not guards, enemies, one of which is holding a hand with missing fingers at this point. The prince looks over, and that you get a clear view of the king looking over at the prince. They make eye contact for a moment, and then you see every single one of these surrounding enemies, they go in for the king.
I'm guessing I can't use a reaction skill here. I also have an ability.
Go for it.
So when a creature with... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You were talking first. That was my bad.
When a creature within 60 feet is hit, use a reaction to force reroll 4 times for long rest. But I'm gonna do that once.
Once, okay.
I have a telekinetic shield, which has a reaction. I have to. It cost me one of my dice, so but I can reduce the damage by the D8 plus my intelligence modifier.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Yeah,
go ahead and roll that damage reduction.
High numbers. That's 3 plus 3, 6 damage. Damn.
I lost my D6. Oh, here it is. You said 6?
Yeah, 6 damage reduction.
Okay. All right, so you watch as all of these attacks go for the king at the same time. You watch blades make contact. You watch blades slice and stab. What does that shield look like?
Imagine like suddenly their knife is going through water. Like they're like that's yeah. It doesn't stop it, but it slows the attack down.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, and mine is runic shield as well, just so you know. That's it.
Okay. Does that look any specific way?
Oh yeah, it looks exactly like the giant walk, and it's just behind this other shield, which is causing them to move through water. A ghostly form of this giant walk slams down in front of the king.
Nice. Yeah, and you see the blades moving through them, but it's like they're having to fight through these to get to the king. But you do see that, I mean, the king is getting hit and stabbed and bloodied by these attacks. You're not sure how bad yet. He's still surrounded, but he's been hit quite a few times. And you hear Prince Carlisle shout, and he stands up and he starts pushing toward his father. He's rushing up the steps. He grabs onto one of the guards, just turns around and flings him off of the steps. So I keep saying the guards. Grabs onto one of the attackers, flings them off the steps. They kind of fall, they clatter down.
Can I grab the prince and stop him from going up?
Sure. If you would like to, go ahead and make it'd be like a grapple check. So athletics or, yeah, that would be athletics to stop him.
19 plus 3.
Okay. Yeah, so he takes
yeah, no, that's correct.
Yeah, it takes a couple steps to move up, and you just stop him from...
Yeah, I'm going to grab him, and I say, "My king, you cannot."
Okay, yeah, he turns and looks at you. There's like desperation in his eyes, and he recognizes you, and there's just this moment of just obvious confliction in his face.
Your kingdom needs you.
And now it is your turn.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
That works out.
Yeah. And so, oh shit, I don't know if there's anything I can do for this dude. At Brute, this dude's fucking dying. So, how far away am I from the kings?
I mean, you're like 15 feet, something like that, maybe 10, 15, not too far, but they're just, he's surrounded by those attackers currently.
Oh, fuck. Would you say they're in a cone?
A cone could hit them. It would also hit the king.
Yeah, that's fine. He's already dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the prince behind me, and then I'm going to pull up the shield, which is my walk, and I'm going to look back to him and just kind of nod to him, like just kind of stay behind me, move with me, and Faedraar is going to does pack tactics just gives Vet a bonus, right?
If I use cower, grovel, and beg, I can give you guys it.
Are you gonna beg?
Not yet. Let's see how the fight goes.
Yeah, we'll see. So, what Faedraar is going to do is, Faedraar is going to charge forward into, probably, how many attackers are there?
There are 5. There's technically 6, but one of them is no longer holding a weapon.
5. Faedraar is going to charge through them and try to grab the king.
Okay.
And just kind of get him out of the pack.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you...
If she has to throw him, she will.
I'm gonna have you first make a strength roll.
Okay. Get advantage on strength checks because I'm big.
You just throw the king up in the air.
15 plus 3, and then 15 plus 3, so that's gonna be 18 either way.
I just love the sound of the dice rolling in. I wish we had a dice cam specifically for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are able to push forward. You're able to kind of shove through a couple of these enemies. You grab onto the king, and you're able to like yank the king out from at least the middle. Like, you know, the king's no longer surrounded at this point. You're able to.
Can I put him behind me?
Sure. You yank him. Prince Carlisle reaches up and kind of pulls him over as well.
And then I'm going to turn around towards these people, and I reach into my bag and fling a white powder out of my bag and into a cloud of dust around these people. This is flour, by the way. And what I'm going to do is then take a big inhale, and these spectral wings fly out and use my fire breath weapon.
Woo!
And fun fact, flour in the powder in the air explodes when ignited.
Let's
Just so
do
you
it.
know.
All
Okay.
right.
Aren't I behind the enemies?
You are, yes.
You're fine.
You're on the other side.
You're so tiny. Faedraar doesn't see you, little one. You should have thought about that before being short.
Me flying? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so each creature in a 15-foot cone makes a dex save DC 15. Take 2d10 fire damage or half if succeeded.
All right, roll that damage.
Okay, let's fucking go. Which one's the D10? I can never tell this one.
It's the one with 10 sides.
I can't. Okay, this one's it. That's a 6. And that's a 6.
All right. Okay, so what happens is you throw out this flower. What does this breath weapon look like?
It's just as at first it looks to be like a barrel of flames, but then as it makes contact with this flower in the air, it balloons out into a mushroom cloud almost, and just, you know?
Yeah, and as soon as that happens, it's like hitting the place where the king just was, like where you just pulled him from. And as that happens, you watch all of these enemies are just blasted outward, and they all fall over. You hear weapons clattering. A lot of them are like looking around like, what the fuck just happened? Nobody knows. Everybody's looking around like, what? They've got just various different burns. All right, is that your turn?
Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong character sheet. Whoops.
That's not me, did it?
Cure Wounds is an action, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, Baxton, you're up. You're muted.
Sorry. All right.
That's fine.
so,
That's fine.
Seeing all this going down, and having the satisfaction of having knocked a fella up in the air, Bastion just sort of like just trots over to the bottom of the steps. Now let me ask you this: did we like have a rendezvous point or anything like that aside beforehand? Like, did we have a plan as to if shit went down where we were going to go?
Like
So,
to escort the king.
Falmount is very well known for being safe, only because of the fact of crime is, how do I want to put this? Crime is treated all the same. You steal something, you die. You kill someone, you die. Like, there's no differentiating. If the king says you're dead, then you're dead. So nobody has ever really fucked with them. So yeah, they hired on some extra guards because some people are nervous, but no, they definitely did not have a plan.
All right, cool. So, Bastion sort of trots up to the bottom of the steps, sees everything that's going on, and says, "Get them back in the castle. Get them back in the castle." And they grab Faedraar and the prince and start pushing towards these burning bodies that are sort of pushing apart there at the middle. And the king as well, right? Yeah, you got the king, right?
Fuck that guy. Yeah, I got the king.
Hey, look, Bastion knows a plot device when they see one. They were going to leave the king hanging. But all right, so then what we're going to try then is there's a gross explosion of bodies down the middle, and we're just going to try to charge through that mess and back into the castle.
Yeah. Faedraar is
Right.
going to take the lead with the shield to protect.
Okay, so are you kind of waiting for that turn to kind of all move together as like an assist sort of thing?
Right.
Right? Okay.
That sounds good. Yeah, so
Sure.
like Faedraar will take the lead and then they will cover the rear.
All right.
Yeah. Bastion will cover the rear and just kind of have them all swinging, ready to make sure that nobody follows them in.
Yeah, in that case, I will allow you to use both of your actions on that turn, pushing through. If
Right
that is
on.
what you'd like to do. Okay, cool. Back to the top, we have Vet and Canny.
Unmute myself first. Canny will see what's going on, and I assume everything's sort of pushed on ahead of him now, so he's sort of probably towards the back, and he will turn around and if there's any adversaries coming up looking like they're trying to push forward,
Because the burned people are still alive, right?
Oh,
Yes,
are
they are still alive. They're like pushing themselves to go to stand back up. They're just disoriented right now.
Okay. Are they going to be an obvious threat to the king? Are they close to the king and the prince?
Yes.
Okay. Canny will run at them, and just say sort of, your name's not on the list. You ain't coming in, and then he'll start swinging at the nearest one.
Perfect.
Are they considered prone?
They are prone,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, are they correct? So is that advantage then?
Oh,
Oh, thank goodness. I think that's right, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
prone,
advantage on.
Yeah.
melee
That's-
attacks have advantage, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for that, because the first roll was a 4. Oh, and the next one was a natural 20.
Yes!
So that will be...
You ain't coming in. Smack!
yeah. So, have I got another? Let's see if I can roll 2. Here we go. I've got 2 dice, 2 d8s here. That's right, isn't it? 2... Yeah. It's been so long since I've actually rolled a critical. That's a 12 plus 4 makes a 16. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so you look down at this first person, you say, you're not on the list. You punch and you just watch. They're no longer there. You've punched, their nose kind of like caves in a little bit. That's it. That's the end of them.
Okay, and then I'll have a swing at the next guy.
Okay.
Ooh, and I'm gonna roll that again. That was cocked. Oh. Yeah, he put it all in one. I got a 4 and a 1 on the second roll.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you look over, you go for another kick, and the kicking isn't working today.
Yeah.
It's just not working.
It's my bad ankle. It's a bit sore now.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Moving on to my turn.
Oh no, actually, Carrie.
Oh yeah, you didn't go. I'm used to you going first. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the guy whose fingers were cut off, he's still on the stairs, right? Burned now, right?
He is prone as well. Like that, the blast knocked him over too. So he's
Did
basically
it cauterize his wound?
Gotcha. That guy's dead enough. I'm gonna use telekinetic movement to knock him 5 feet off the stairs, like out of my over like the railing side, like out of my way.
All right.
It's a 15 strength saving throw, okay? Do they have disadvantage for being prone?
For that, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never tried to push someone with my mind while they were laying down.
Nope, they're fine. But I rolled a 10, so they fail.
Yeah, he's off the stairs. I put away my whip. I draw my sword. My head hurts so bad. But when you're dead, it will ease it. I walk up to the nearest nearest person with my sword. I hold it above them. Now don't move.
Do you want to go for one of the ones that's prone?
Yes.
All right, so advantage.
Yeah. We roll my 2 d20s. Okay, one's a 14 and the other's a 1. So 14 plus 7, 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Since this guy's on the ground, I think I want to pump a psionic strike into him.
Perfect.
And since he's already prone, I'm gonna knock him to the side too. So my knife goes straight into him, and I damage first because if he dies, I have something. So that's my short sword, which is a D6. D6. That's 5 plus 3. That's 8. Now let me roll my sight strike. By the way, I didn't add it last time, but I add my intelligence modifier to the psionic damage. So, dropped it. So that's a 7 plus 3. That's 10. So 18. I'm using one weapon. This is dual wielding. So dueling plus 2. So 20 damage altogether.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I stab into him, and then you suddenly see his body push off of my blade, cutting him in half as he goes off the stairs. And Carrie, just for flavor, can I say he lands on the other guy, just knocked off with missing fingers?
Absolutely. The other guy was like barely hanging on. He goes to stand up, and then his body just falls onto him, and he's stuck under there. Yeah, absolutely.
And I still have one more action.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else left prone?
Yeah, there's 2 more now. Yeah, two more that were in this explosion.
Gotcha. Let me attack one of them. Right next to my ally, I forget that. 17. So the 17 plus 7, so 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, 25. I'm not gonna pump one of my psionics into it, so I still have 4 left of them. Let me roll my damage. It's a D6. That's another 5. Plus 2 plus 3 for my thing. That's 8 plus 2, 10 damage.
All right. How do you want to do this one?
This one, I just go straight down into it.
Yeah, this little dragon, for all Kenny is concerned for, is just walking around, just massacring people. Is it all right if I action surge here, guys? I don't want to steal the light, but I just think it would be really funny if I action surge and stab the other one. Do it. Go for it. Action surge, stab the other one.
I finished that one off, and then I just slow walked to that one, like, you're the last one. I love this character. Dropped one of my d20s, but that's a 19. I'm not gonna even roll the other one. 19 plus 7, that's 26.
Yeah.
To hit. Let me.
Yeah.
Ooh, a 6 plus 3, 9, 11 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you finish this one off too. Yeah, you just walk over. You're the last one left. Slice. The king and the prince are standing behind. Just two of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other two are still working on getting out. Okay, yeah. They're standing behind, preparing to push forward into the castle, and all of you hear from like the outskirts of this area. You hear someone shout, "Now!" And you hear the sound of many different arrows being released. I'm gonna have everybody in this area make a dexterity saving throw.
Is that everybody here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Big numbers, no whammies.
Gonna get riddled with arrows.
You know, when it rolls off the 20 onto a 4, I'm a little upset.
It's not a good day.
Yeah, but that's a 4. My dex is 3, 7 carry.
That would be a 14 from me.
Wait, I'm gonna use Indomitable. I can re-roll a saving throw if I failed it. Oh,
Go for it.
you didn't say if I failed it or not, so I don't know.
You failed it. Yes.
Yes, thanks.
Does a 14 fail?
It's a DC 15.
Oh,
Fuck.
I got 19.
All right,
I got
well-
19.
You know what's better than a 4? A 5. So I have an 8.
16.
Oh yeah.
Ah, 16.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna re-roll that with my Indomitable.
All right.
I'm assuming I can't use Psychic.
And I'm gonna roll the exact same thing.
Oh no!
So I got a 6.
Ah, poo.
Damn.
All right. So those that failed, you are going to take 14 points of damage. Those that succeeded, you're going to take 7 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
Can I?
As
Can I put myself in front of the prince?
yeah, you're all standing in this
Okay.
entire area.
Faedraar is going to do that and use the protective wings on
Okay.
the prince.
Okay. What does that do exactly?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, that is if he's hit. So.
He is.
Oh, okay. Fuck. So, whenever, because that's a dex save, not an AC. Never mind. Hold on. So, it says whenever you or another creature within 5 feet is hit, use a reaction to grant +4 to AC to, potentially causing the attack to miss. I also have, but that's not an attack, that's a dex save. So I don't know if that would apply.
Right. Well, let's see. Okay, so the prince failed his save. So I will say with your wings, he'll just take the 7 damage
Okay.
for that
Sounds
instead. Yeah, so you just hear arrows being released. You look up just in time to see them overhead from like various directions, just falling in. All of you are able to take your various stances, holding up anything over you to protect yourselves from these arrows. But you still have a couple of them just slice. Some of them go like through your arm, just stab into your back, your thigh. These arrows just rain down on you. You see one arrow in particular hits the prince like right in the collarbone. You see him kind of reach up and grab onto it, and there's a moment where like there's a moment where he's gonna pull it out, and you're like, do not pull the arrow out. And he just kind of lets it go, and you roll something real quick.
Hey, random question. Would I be able to trace the trajectory of where those arrows came from?
Probably. Well, we can get to that on your turn, if you'd like.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, we're still on initiative. My bad.
No worries. That is where we're gonna leave that part. At this point, too, as you're turning toward, I'm echoing again. That is so weird. Why am I echoing? Okay. While you are turning toward the prince to tell him, do not pull the arrow out. Don't pull it out. You look over the prince's shoulder and you see, for a moment, they appear threatening. Just from your first initial view, because it's some cloaked, hooded figure coming up like behind the prince, and for a moment you're about to just begin fighting with this person, but you hear them speak. You're not really able to make out what they're saying. They seem to be speaking directly to the prince, and the prince turns as if he's recognized the voice, and he looks, and then he begins to look around, and you hear the prince shout, "Everyone, follow me!" And he points to this hooded figure, who then turns and begins like backing away from this area, not towards the castle, but begins heading toward somewhere else. You're not entirely certain, but the prince, sword drawn, is looking around, trying to get people's attention to come in this direction.
My king, what is going on?
At this point, too, everyone make a perception roll for me, and we'll see what is.
I gotta take my orange slices out of my wok.
Who can see what here?
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
12.
9.
That would also be a 9.
15.
Okay. Let's see. We'll say with the 12 that you are able to, as you're looking around at all of this, you're able to see whoever this hooded figure is. As they're walking away, you see citizens seem to be rushing toward them, and they are pointing them in a very specific direction, and the citizens are rushing past. They seem to be heading toward some sort of safety. You're just not really able to see what that is. As for Bastion, you looking around, you are able to make out a lot of what the attackers are saying. A lot of them are shouting that they want their magic back. You can't take it from us. Give us back what's rightfully ours. They're just angry. They're just very angry at the king, it seems. You hear Prince Carlisle shout to this, trying to shout back, "We don't have your magic," and the people were just yelling, "Liars." And as they are pushing forward, you see, as Prince Carlisle starts looking around, the guards and yourselves, like standing here around them, are beginning to form a sort of line between the civilians that are rushing to safety and these attackers. You're kind of forming this barrier between them as Prince Carlisle is shouting for anybody who needs cover to head back. And then you hear the shout again, "Now!" And they fire off another round of arrows, but you see, as the arrows are scattering over, they seem to be going past you. They seem to be going towards the citizens that are trying to run away. That is my turn. We are now up to Faye, I believe.
My prince, who was that?
His only reply, he just yells, "You can trust her," and then he starts looking back and focusing more on the incoming attacks.
Okay, so and as that happened, I imagine the arrows. Where are they coming from? Can we tell?
They seem to be coming from basically the edge of this landing
crowd
right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Like over like kind of beside the castle probably.
So the prince is relatively protected behind this big wall of guards, and then there, in front of the guards, there's like this crowd of people who are attacking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Because I'm like, do I want to stay and protect the prince because there's clearly projectiles going on, or do I want to, go and fight? So I'm higher up, right? Than these people in elevation.
You're pretty close to the same.
Oh, okay. So, oh wait, but I'm also large right now.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'm not going to use the flower because that would be very dangerous. Instead, what I'm going to do is Faedraar is going to uncork a jug and then take a swig of some kind of liquid, some kind of clear liquid, and I am going to use my breath weapon. I'm actually going to use my metallic breath weapon, the repulsion breath.
Okay.
And that is a strength save for everyone, or be pushed 20 feet and knocked prone. But I'm towering over the guards, so I'm going to go for everyone else.
Got it. All right. Yeah. So you are just standing up over these guards and probably a couple of your fellow players here, and you just what does this look like? I failed. So tell me.
Oh yeah.
What that looks like for that chunk of crowd there.
So it instead of this, so this ball of fire, instead of it seems kind of self-contained almost, and it doesn't seem to burn, but rather the mushroom instead pushes out and just kind of makes a wave through the crowd and pushes everyone back, and people are knocked over left and right, and it's a big thing of chaos, and it makes a path almost toward the back. And that's
All right.
it.
Is that your turn?
That's gonna be my breath weapon. That's an attack, right? So I can take another attack. And then I'm going to pull out a crossbow. It's a very light crossbow, just from under my jacket. and fire upon probably one of the archers. I'm gonna go for the archers in the back.
All right.
That's a 16 plus 4. So
Yep,
that's
that'll hit.
20. And then hold on. Which sheet is that on? Unless somebody just knows the crossbow dice off the top of their head.
Light crossbow is 1d8 pierce damage.
1d8? Oh, okay. Yeah. I have to figure out which one's the d8. This one's the d8. Yes! That's a 3.
All right. Yeah.
What's your dex mod?
0.
Oh.
Perfect. I mean, you're kind of far away. It was kind of amazing that you hit them in the first place. Like, you fire, you watch them raising their bow up to pull back again. Before they can pull back, your crossbow bolt slams right into their forearm, and they kind of stop and they look at it for a moment like, whoa, and they just start looking around at the crowd over there. Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah, that's
Any
it.
movement at all?
No, I'm gonna post up in front of the prince.
All right.
I don't know where the fucking king is at this point. Probably in a pool of blood on the ground.
So, on that note, you look at the prince. You're like, okay, I'm gonna stand by this prince, and you look over at the king, and the king is standing there, mostly leaning against the prince. Like, the king's arm has kind of been around the prince's neck, holding him up, and you see the prince is holding up dead weight right now.
Oh yeah, he's just
one of the arrows is through the neck, and another one is through the eye. Nobody's noticed yet.
Okay. Given that I've noticed this, I'm going to take. I'm going to kind of not bring attention to it, but I'm going to take the king under my arm and say to the prince, and like kind of let me have him, you know?
Okay.
Does he let me have him?
He does.
Okay. And Faedraar will just kind of very gently place him down and take off his coat and drape it over the king. Just
Okay,
kinda,
so you're not.
we're just gonna cover that.
So you're not trying to. You're not trying to keep the prince from seeing this.
I am trying to keep the prince from
All right,
seeing
go
this.
ahead.
So
and,
like, it's more like using the. It looks like he's using the jacket to like kind of this way, Mr. President.
Okay.
But as soon
make
as
a deception roll. Make a deception roll.
that's a 15 plus 1, so a 16.
Okay. We will come back to that. Baston, you're up.
How far away is the cloaked figure?
The cloaked figure is not standing too far behind the prince right now.
And
They
they're
seem,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, they're pointing people backwards
All right.
behind.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So Baston is sort of running with the crowd, and then he sees this scene with the prince and the king happen with Faye. He pulls up short, and he sees everything that's happening, and he puts they put a hand on the prince's shoulder, and they say, "You're king now, really. You're king now. We must protect you." And so he looks. They look at Faedraar, and they keep their hand on the prince. Well, the king, and start dragging him towards the cloaked figure. And as they're going, he's calling out to the cloaked figure. I'm sorry, they're calling out to the cloaked figure. Where do we go to protect the king? Take us to the place where we protect the king.
Okay. At this, you see Carlisle's like trying to fight against this, trying not to be pushed back, and you actually see the cloaked figure take a couple steps forward, remove her hood. You see her grab onto Carlisle's arm, and they look each other like directly in the eyes. And she says, "If you die today, Fallmount has no king. Come with me now." And he looks at her, he looks at you, he looks over at the line of guards and the civilians still rushing past, and he looks like he absolutely hates this decision, but he nods and he says, "Those of you still fighting, Fallmount will remember." And he kind of starts stepping back, and she just takes him and she begins leading him towards safety. You can follow or you can fight. It's up to you.
I'm following.
All right.
This lady's sus.
Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
You led these citizens to an open space to get shot at.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
saying.
Yeah.
Vet and Kenny, you're up.
Whether Canny goes first or not, he'll just go, "Flippin' heck, you're a bit stab happy, ain't you, mate?"
Served it. They gave me a headache.
Yeah,
You'll notice
do
my
it.
nose is bleeding and my eyes also. Both my eyes are bloodshot, but one of them is actually bleeding as well. And I'm with arrows.
How far away are we from the little scene that's just happened? Are we?
You're right beside it. I will
Okay.
say both of you at the top of this round here, both of you two make perception rolls.
Gotcha. Question: how far away is Faedraar? If I'm pronouncing, I'm bad about names. Oh my god, that's a nat one on my perception.
Oof. You're too busy looking for them. But you're not too terribly far away from each other. You're all kind of in this line, this cluster here.
Within my
Got
movement.
Okay.
You got a toque.
Then don't worry about it. Take a turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run, and if it's okay, jump on.
Carry on.
Because you're still a large creature, right?
Yeah, I'm a large. Well, I'm a human, but I'm a big guy. Yeah.
No, I'm talking to
Oh, sorry.
Sage.
Ignore me.
My bad.
You're muted. The constant problem of Zoom. Still muted.
Yeah,
That was great.
Faedraar is a large creature right now, yeah.
If you'll allow me, you'll feel a kobold crawling up your back.
Faedraar is just kind of going, little one?
Here, listen to me. They left us to die. The prince is gone. We can escape Delmead and you. You're useful. You're large. I need your brawn. And I'm whispering this in your ear. And I'm also you feel me trying to have one hand on the shoulder, and you feel like I'm trying to put my other hand on your shoulder, but I can't reach.
and at this voice in her ear, she's like, yes, we must leave to protect the prince.
Prince is gone.
He's gone? And Faedraar's gonna look around. He's leaving with the cloaked lady, yeah?
Correct. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Bastion. Yeah.
Are these guards
Yeah.
outnumbered? Or are they like even numbers?
I would say number-wise outnumbered, skill-wise possibly matched, just because of how unskilled a lot of these attackers seem to be. There are more of them, but you don't feel like they're too overwhelmed.
It
could go either way.
the person, the other guard, they have the prince. If we do not stay here, they will die. All these people, these citizens, these guards. So will you stand and fight, or will you run like a dog?
I will see as the battle goes.
Like you said, we are strong together, little one.
I'm gonna stand her back. They're back. Sorry. Or you said yeah, I didn't. Wasn't.
Faedraar has any pronouns.
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure.
You're standing on the back. Were you gonna
Sweet.
do?
Yeah. Can I reload my crossbow from here?
Sure, yeah, you're just standing there and you're like, okay, and you just start reloading your
Like
your
on my
crossbow.
back.
Yeah.
So, did you have an idea, or?
Have you ever flown before?
In a way, you could say.
Is there like a vantage point? Like you said, this is like we're in like a yarded area. Is there like a
There's like the top of the castle's entryway door sort of thing that there's a little ledge or like a windowsill sort of situation.
You need a vantage point. Just let this happen. And I'm gonna use telekinetic move if it's okay with you. I don't.
Yeah.
You'll suddenly feel a force pushing against your body as I use telekinetic movement. Would you say 30 feet's enough to launch us to that area?
What if?
I will allow you to try. It looks like maybe it's 30 feet.
Well, Faedraar, what if I do a running jump as a large creature?
I'd say yeah. You take you turn, take 2 strides and jump, and then just you're just like propelled forward.
and these spectral wings fly out, and Faedraar is just going to trust you.
Yeah, you'll feel the sudden force of my telekinetic movement, which launches us 30 feet on a willing creature. And while we're in the air is when I want. It might make me have to take disadvantage, but is when I want to make my crossbow shot on somebody on below.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be disadvantage, but please succeed.
Gotcha. So disadvantage. Gotcha. I don't think I have anything to help me here. Hey, would you count those guards as allies and tack? I would roll it flat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Flat roll.
Let's go!
That's a 19 plus 7. And since I kind of have to, I'm gonna pump Psionic Strike into it.
Yeah, go for it.
I have 2 of those left out of my 8. I've been burning them, but so that's 1d8. Let me roll that first. That's 8 plus 3. That's 11. Plus I got d8 still. Oh, my d8 for my Psionic. That's a 7 plus my Intelligence modifier, which is 3, so that's 10. So 21 damage. And if they're still alive, actually, can I knock them to somebody else if they're dead, or knock them prone if they're alive?
Okay. So what happens is, as the 2 of you are being propelled forward onto this windowsill, you're being pushed up, and you just do that slow-mo turn with the crossbow aimed down, fire. You watch as the arrow, it's twisting and moving, and it's weaving through the guards to one of these enemies, and it just slams directly into their kneecap. You watch their entire knee buckle, and they fall down, and they are knocked prone.
I'm laughing the whole time.
Of course you are. Okay. That was Vet's turn, right?
Yep, that's everything I can do.
Yep.
Great.
Sure is.
Right. I assume I've noticed that Baston and the prince has gone away,
Yes.
looking for safety, and then these 2 have just flown off.
Yes.
So, all right
It
then.
looks
So
like they're
it's-
attacking.
Yeah. Yeah. But so right. Okay. And I take it all the people that were. Yeah. Where's everybody's gone? The people that were flamed are all dispatched.
Yes, all of them
Right.
are, yes.
Okay. Well, we were paid to. What were we paid for? What was the job? It was to protect. Was it to protect the prince?
It was to see to it that the coronation went smoothly. That was the job description.
Right.
This has failed.
Yeah.
Mission
Right.
failed successfully.
It's going pretty smooth, I feel.
Yeah.
You accepted a different mission. We don't know what that was yet, but it was definitely different.
I think he's sensible enough to know that he can't take on an army. He will follow after Baston.
All right, you turn around and you start following. It is at this point that all of you, the noise before was lost in the chaos. You couldn't hear them approaching, and you hear now the sound of beating wings. Heavy.
Not mine.
Not yours. And as you look up, which you never thought to do, Fall Mount has a barrier, right? And as you look up, you see, as this flying figure is coming in, you see them hit this barrier, which had previously been invisible, but as they hit it, you see like an almost like whitish blue dome over the city flicker, crack, and vanish as these flying figures come in. This catches everyone's attention, not just yours. You see citizens stopping and looking up, you see attackers stopping, looking up, and you see the attackers turn and do one of these. They're rounding up the attackers. This is what they were waiting for. Now it's time to leave. We will get to opportunity attacks in a moment. I actually don't think anybody is in range to do an opportunity attack right now, so never mind. So you see the attackers turning and starting to flee. A lot of the guards, too stunned, a couple of them try to move forward towards some of these fleeing members. But you see the things flying, they aren't what you have to worry about. That's what they're carrying. As you see these flying creatures come into range, they're wyverns, 6 of them. And you see it's taking 2 wyverns to carry one of these things. Ropes attached, what looks like under the shoulders or under the arms of these creatures as they're carrying them forward. As they're swooping down over, you see there are riders on the back of these wyverns' backs, and you see them cut the ropes on their side. And whatever this being
And these are like far away.
it's falling. No, it's not far away. It's swooping in. This was the perception check at the top of the round to see these coming in. So you see pretty close to you 2 golems slam down. One of them appears to be iron, the other appears to be stone, as they both just slam down. One of them slams and kind of falls into the castle. You see them knock over a couple more bricks and stones as they're looking over. The screaming is worse. As more citizens are trying to rush away to safety, you see the guards looking up at these things like, I don't know what to do with these. And you see all of the attackers are turning and fleeing. They are disappearing into the woodwork as these creatures have arrived.
Canny will cheer, assuming that they're on his side. Yeah, come on, yeah, that scared them off. They're with us, right?
So cinematically here, we'll say you're like, yeah, and you look over and you see the iron golem turn and smash his fist down on one of the guards and just completely splats.
Ooh.
This guard stands up and is just beginning to look around and like scan the area for anything else. That is my turn. We are now to Faye's turn.
So we're in the air
You are on the windowsill now.
on a windowsill.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are we from these things?
Not very far from the stone one that had slammed into the castle.
The stone one. How large would you say these creatures are?
These are considered large creatures.
Large creatures, similarly to how I myself am large.
Correct, yes.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
And how far did you say they were?
If I had to put a number to it, maybe 30 feet. You're on the windowsill that's intact. It's on the other side of the kind of doorway area, so it's on basically the other side of the front of this castle.
Okay, I'm a large creature. Okay. And there's one stone and one iron, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So, Faedraar is going to kind of just in shock and awe, and going to bark out to Kenny and bastion and say, "Get the citizens out of here," and then to Vet say, "Do you trust me?"
I was muted. No, but I'm here.
Good enough for me. And so Faedraar is going to. So we're at a height of 30 feet, and it's 30 feet away. Something Pythagorean theorem. Could I make that?
With a, you want to jump on it?
Yeah.
With a successful athletics roll, you can make that.
Okay, and I have advantage on that. So Faedraar is going to kind of, and then leap out and is going to go for the stone golem. That is a
Screaming
19
like a maniac.
plus 3.
Yeah,
That's a 21, and I'm going to grapple it and try to bring it to the ground.
Okay, let me.
Hold on, do I have to hold on to this kid?
What was your total?
19 plus 3, so that's 21. I think.
Okay. No, yeah, that's
21,
perfect.
22!
So you leap off of this windowsill just in time for this golem to look up and notice you, and you just slam into it. We'll say your knees slam into its shoulders, and it's just shoved over, and you kind of catch yourself as it falls, so that you're standing over it and just trying to hold this thing down. You have it grappled.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is, just as okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cry out to all of the guards, pretty much, since there's pretty much only the iron one and this one, and I'm knocking this one down and say, "Everyone on me!" Just trying to get them to just attack this one.
Gotcha.
You know, and what she's going to do is just with the walk, kind of slam down on its head and just breathe fire right into its face.
Nice. So the tackling and grappling would be one action.
Yeah, and so this one is an attack action. And whenever I take an attack action, I can attack twice.
As your second action.
Oh. I'm gonna action surge. Fuck it.
There we go. Yeah, okay. So you're hitting it and then breathing fire into its face?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm lighting this walk.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to... Yeah. That's a 14 plus 7... 8. That's an 8. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's a 22. And then that's 2d6 plus 3 to bonk.
It's a bonk.
6. That's the square. That's a 2.
Bonk damage.
And that's a 4 plus 3, so that's 7, 8, 9, and then 2d10. No, that's not right. Yes, this one. That's a 9, and that's also a 9.
Okay. All right. And then I have to make a save for that breath attack?
Yeah. And then half on a successful. The DC is 15.
That's a natural 1. So
Woo!
roll that crit damage.
How do you do crit damage?
Just double your dice total.
Okay. That was 18 times 2. That is... Oh, I can't do math. I'm not a math gay. It's 40...
36? Oh wait, what was it 2 times 18?
18 times 2.
36?
36, yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Just so as the walk slams down, then this fire breath just
You watch the
right in
stone
its
just
face.
like glowing red hot.
So cool.
Perfect. So Bastin, you're up. My question for you is: are you following? Like the prince and this cloaked figure are going to arrive at their destination this turn. Are you still following them? You're muted, but I see you nodding. So.
My bad. Yeah, so I'm
No
gonna
worries.
follow them. What does that look like?
Okay, so you are following them, and you see this, well, no longer hooded, but this woman rushes over, and she seems to be leading all of these citizens to what looks like the edge of a cliff. And there's a moment where you're like, hold on, but you see them like look down and then nod, and they seem to be climbing down something. And as you approach the edge of this cliffside, you can see a rope leading down to a platform. And once the citizen lands, they walk in. It seems like it's like a cave or something. And the prince looks down, looks to this woman, nods, and then grabs onto this rope and begins climbing down. The woman will go next unless you want to interject.
I think I want to stand between the woman and the prince, new king.
Sure.
And I'm going to say, obviously we can't stay here, but I don't trust you. Prove to me that you're my ally, or fight me now. I'm not leaving the prince. And I want to roll an intimidation check to I want to know who this person is so that we can continue on.
Sure, make an intimidation roll.
Trusting relationship. All right, hold up. Oh, snap. That's a 26.
Nice. You see, for a moment, there is definitely fear in her eyes, but it doesn't seem to be a fear of, oh no, you figured me out. It seems to be more of a fear of, this person is gonna kill me. And there's this moment where she kind of shrugs and she says, look, I'm not a fighter. I can't prove to you by taking out these people. That's why I'm trying to get you to safety. I'm trying to get him to safety. And she kind of like, make an insight roll.
Okay. While I'm making that insight roll, can I ask who she is?
Sure.
Like, at least tell me who you are. And I rolled a 13 on insight.
Okay. So the way she says trying to get him to safety, there's a little eye roll there, and you're kind of confused about that for a moment. And the moment you ask, tell me who you are, the way she looks up in your direction, she has strikingly similar features to the prince. You thought you remembered her being executed for some sort of crime, yet you remember an execution being held. You're pretty sure. But here she is.
This recognition really hits past him. Like, hits him real strong. And they nod in agreement and say, go, just make sure that one of you stays alive. And watches the hooded figure go down the rope and like make sure that she doesn't fall. And then the Bassett will follow after, and just with a really righteous sense of protecting these two siblings.
Okay. All right. Back up to the top. We have Vet and Kenny. Who's it gonna be?
Shall I go? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Canny was following.
You probably did hear this cry for like, and also see like what just happened.
Oh yeah, you
That's
definitely
hard.
would have seen that because it was like right after the figures fell down to just leaped over and tackled one of them.
Yeah, and Faedraar made a cry for help. It's like, please kill this thing. I can only
Please.
hold it down for so long.
Yeah. Okay. He will see that Baston is having. He's sort of jogging over. He'll see. He won't obviously hear any of the conversation, but he'll see that they have a conversation and slip over the edge, and then he'll obviously hear the call for help. So he will. He'll turn around and run back and say, God, I'm knackered now. I was running around, and he will run and are we all up higher than where the golems landed, or is it's all
It's pretty level. Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, he will run as far as he can. If you'll allow him to reach this golem, he will.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. He will run up and go. It's prone, right?
It is. It is knocked prone right now. Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. He will run up and go. So this fella ain't playing nice then, and get his old mitts out and roll with advantage. 20, a dirty 20. So should I say?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Uh, 11.
11.
Yeah, and he will smash it in the face and go, "Oh, God, they're hard, aren't they?"
Yeah, you just punched stone, solid
Yeah.
stone. Yeah.
Faedraar, finishing his fire breath, looks very like bewildered to see you just run up and punch.
Do you have a second attack?
Yep. He will do the same thing. Oh, that's not so good. It's second attack. Never was good. 8. 14.
Yeah, the second one, you're like wincing before you even
Yeah.
hit it, and you just kind of like.
He's kind of holding back. He doesn't quite want to hit it again because it hurt a little
I
bit.
do not think that will work. Do you need a weapon?
Nah, I'm all right, mate.
Crazy
Alright.
human.
All right. What is Vet doing?
With him punching, I'd be like, he seemed quite content to break his hands.
Well, hopefully it'll break the stone golem too, for all I care. Vet, what do you have?
I have this, and you feel me crawling down your body to go whip the golem. Like, still attached to her, but like just so I can like whip at it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's on the.
I need all the art.
It's
Got it.
prone, correct?
It's prone, yeah.
Time to roll 2. And 18 or 13. That's an 18. 18 plus 7 is 25 to hit.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Let me roll my damage. I'm just gonna. I'm not adding anything to it. Just D4. 4 damage plus 3. That's 7 on that one with the
Okay.
whip. I'm gonna go for it again with the whip.
Perfect.
Oh wait, I got advantage still. That's 12 plus 7, 19. Wait, no. Yeah. Yep, 19. My
19 to hit.
Yep.
Hits.
Yeah. So let me roll the damage on that. D4. 1 damage plus 3, so 4 damage.
Okay.
And since I have it, I might as well. As my bonus action, I'm going to use telekinetic. Where's the steel one?
The steel one is
The iron one?
currently a few guards are trying to gather around the steel one. It is
Did any of the guards respond to my Yeah, you said the stone one?
The stone one is the one that's on the ground. The iron one
Ah, right.
is it's I mean maybe 60 feet away.
Oh, it's 60
Did-
feet.
Yeah.
Did the guards respond to the rallying?
Not yet. Not
Oh.
yet. No.
If it's 60 feet, I can't reach it with my shove. So that's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right. So, this might be loud. Oh, too bad. All right. So this stone golem being held down, or at least pushed down by you, it looks directly up at you, brings up its hand here, opens one palm, and you see a little gem glow, and a light bursts out towards you. Faye, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. What does that say? 11 plus 1, that's a 12. Do I need to kick out Indomitable?
This is a what is Indomitable? What does that one do again?
Oh, that one's a reroll saving throw.
Oh, if you probably want to do that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, let's try that again. That's a 16.
16 total.
Yeah.
Still fails.
Oh,
DC 17. So you
I was just short. This is so tragic.
you feel whatever this light is, it slams into your chest, and then you're just not able to move very fast anymore. You are slowed. You can only take one action per turn. You do not have reactions or bonus actions.
This is so tragic. This is so tragic.
And
Oh.
My
it's gonna-
steed got slower.
it is going to do that, and then you just see it looking around. It's moving like it's going to try to get up, but that's its turn for now. The iron golem, about 60 or so feet away, looks around at everyone. It looks down. Let me check something. Okay, lucky for all of you, it looks down at the guards that's surrounding it, and you see it almost looks like just an oversized suit of armor in certain places, just the way the iron plates are like welded into place here. So its face has basically like a knight's helmet sort of thing going on, so you see the little grill at the front, and as it looks down at these guards, it breathes in, and you see it push out, and you watch a green smoke and almost like mist push out from this grill all the way over these guards, and you see them like coughing. Some of them drop their weapons and immediately like grab onto their throats. They're choking. Some of them fall down to their knees. The guards that were not in range of this, you see them kind of backing away from that one, and a few of them are rushing over in your direction to help with the stone one, but there are so many people, like, so there's a lot going on around the stone one right now, especially with you being a large creature as it is, like, on top of it. They're coming over, they're trying to figure out what they can do. That is my turn. And large creature, you are up. You are slowed, but you are up.
Well, how often do I repeat that saving throw? Is that like beginning and...
The end of your turn.
Okay. So I'm already on top of this. It's trying to get up. I can only attack or pin it, yeah?
Yeah, just one singular action. You're down to normal.
Okay, well I'm gonna fucking pin it.
All right.
Alright, that would be strength. That's 10 plus 3, and then 13 plus 3, so that's a 16.
Okay, yeah. It's moving to try to get back up, and you just slam back down onto its shoulder, so it slams back down into the ground. Nice.
And then I make the will save.
Yeah, wisdom.
That's giving her
That's
encouragement. You are strong.
That's a 5 plus 1, so a 6.
Yep, it's not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. All right. Going. We'll keep this going for cinematic purposes. Baston, you head down. You land on this platform. You look in. There is this little cave that you see citizens are crowding into at this point. And as you land down, you see Carlisle coming up to the woman. What the hell is going on, Adelaide? What is this? Did you do this? And she looks at him like he's an idiot. And she says, if I did it, why would I have saved all these people? And
That wasn't a no.
And you hear one of the citizens say, hey, respect who you're talking to. That's the King of Fallmount. And Adelaide says, not yet, he isn't. They were trying to stop the ceremony and they succeeded. And there's this little silence. And the citizen kind of seems upset about this. They say, watch your tongue, and they go to step forward, and Carlisle just holds out his hand, stops him. No, she's right. And everyone falls silent. Do you make your presence known, or do you just kind of stand at that entrance there? You muted still. Yeah. No worries. So you're muted.
Sorry. Well, you didn't get to hear me swearing just then. That's fine. All right. All right. So Baston comes in. Here's this conversation, and then looks around. He goes, looks around, and they say, everyone on your feet now. And they look at the collective forces that are in the room, all those citizens, and they take a light crossbow out of a pack, and they say, does anyone know how to use this?
One person kind of looks around a little bit to see if anybody else is going to volunteer first, and yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, so Baston hands over the crossbow and the bolts to that person, and says, watch the door. Don't let anyone come behind. Okay. Don't let anybody come behind them. Yeah. And then they look at the rest of the crowd. How many folks are there?
You're looking at probably like 24.
Okay.
It's a small cave.
Okay. Everyone form ranks around the king, around the prince, and they sort of roll their eyes because now they realize they're in this political intrigue and it feels like bullshit. But they're gonna fix this. So they tell everybody to rally around the prince. And then they look at is it Adelaide?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Adelaide and say, all right, where are we going? And then they as like a second afterthought, sort of, they look back at the crowd and say, listen, it is to each and every one of you to die to protect the prince. And he just and they just stare down the whole crowd and wait to see if anybody's wise, foolish enough to say something.
One person speaks up, but it's not really what you were expecting. You hear, they're young. They look like maybe they're like 14 years old, and they kind of step forward and they say, I have a really dumb idea.
Let's hear it, kid.
Well, And he kind of looks maybe a little discouraged now, like maybe you shouldn't have said anything, and he kind of looks around and you see maybe an older sibling is standing there with them, and they're just looking almost like, go ahead, but at the same time like, do not get us killed. And there's this moment of like encouragement, but like cautious encouragement, and the boy says, well, we were all running, but what if we all attacked instead? They wouldn't expect that, right? And the prince shakes his head. No, I have a better dumb idea.
And you hear Bastion just audibly sigh, hoping that this idea isn't bad.
Adelaide stops him. Whatever you're gonna say.
Just shut your stupid mouth. Shut your stupid mouth.
Whatever you are gonna say. No. And she says, did you see what landed up there? And she's looking to you.
Bastion shakes their head.
You heard the crashes, though.
Yes.
Look, this all started as whispers of people being upset about their king taking their magic. And at this point, Prince Carlisle's like, we didn't take anybody's magic. And she's like, I know, you're not smart enough. And then she says, look, they're angry. And the whispers, they turned into plans, and I heard a lot of them. That's why I even knew to be ready for this. I knew I couldn't stop it. I knew if I say, hey, there's an attack planned, where am I gonna end up? So I came here. They have golems up there. They have huge fucking golems up there. Golems that these guards are not going to be able to take out. But you know what could take them out? If we push them off the fucking landing.
Bastion sort of sits up, or they lift their head up, and they say, what would it take to do that?
Bait.
Bastion just starts laughing, real similar to when they fell on their ass after the explosion. And they're just sitting there helpless on the ground, chuckling because they couldn't think of anything better to do. And they say, all right. They say, all right, who's going to be bait?
Prince Carlisle steps forward, and again Adelaide says, sit down. She's looking around almost expectantly at citizens, and they're like, not saying anything.
They look to the 14-year-old. And Bastion didn't have an easy time coming up. And they started to make a name for themselves doing really simple feats of strength, just hiring out to the various farms in the community and whatnot. But they've always known deep down that there was a big thing for them to do. Like, a big, cool adventure to go on. And they can see in this kid's eyes a very similar feeling. Now, I want to just, out of character, point out that, yes, 14 is a minor, and is too young to be going on a big adventure. However, what was, life expectancy probably being lower, and in the spirit of all the good fairy tales and Shakespeare, Bastion looks at the 14-year-old boy and like doesn't get down on a level or nothing. In fact, stands up straighter and says, "Stand up, boy," and waits for him to stand up. And she says, "Do you know how to fight?"
Yeah.
"Do you know how to run?"
Yeah.
"Good. Do you want to save the king today?"
He looks over at Carlisle, who's not making eye contact at all. Like, there's just guilt on Carlisle's face right now. And then he stands up a little straighter. Yes.
All right. So, Bastion tears the leather patch off of their chainmail, puts it in the kid's hand, and says, "Today, you will either die or you will be a hero. Either way, it's a good day." And then turns to Adelaide and says, "All right, what's the plan?"
And with that, we're gonna cut back up to Vet and Kenny. What a scene, Doug. What a scene. That was good.
Holy fuck.
Bravo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You want to go first, Keen?
Oh, okay.
You're like, nope.
Yeah, my hand's still smarting a bit. So this thing's made of rock.
You have deduced through punches that it is
Yes.
in fact made of rock.
I have rock-shaped divots in my hand.
Yes.
It's still on the floor. Its hand did something.
I wanted to ask, how is it looking? It doesn't
That's a
seem
good
like
Yeah,
there's
I-
a
that
but
is
like
I was gonna
a
ask
dent
it.
in it.
Monitoring as
It
well.
seems fine.
Like
It
granite.
seemed like we did no damage.
Yeah, it's like we tickled it a bit.
Yeah, it's like it is not affected at all.
That's good. Good.
Yeah.
It's a
really
long way from sand.
I'm glad we're not hurting the rock, man.
We are not
Anybody
going
got paper?
to win.
I've got some scissors. Oh, that's no good.
Faedraar says very slowly, this realization dawning on him. We can't win.
We are fucked.
Yeah. Really.
We can
Alright,
go,
what-
large one. Listen to me.
What are we doing? Yeah.
No, we will-
I mean, Canny is a simple man. It's doing weird stuff. He's going to stomp on its head.
Great.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's 21.
Yeah, that'll
to
hit.
Wow. It's only a 6, unfortunately.
Alright, you punch down into this thing.
Yeah.
It hurts again a
yeah.
lot. And
Go for you!
you try the other, or no, you kicked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he stopped with his
Stubbed your toe.
boot. But he would have still jarred his knees and things. Ooh! I got over 22 that time.
Yeah, that'll hit too.
Wow. Ooh, oh, it's a 6 again.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you were just
stamping on his
kicking
head,
and- yeah,
stamping on its face.
perfect. Vet.
And,
I'm gonna be- Go
Faedraar,
ahead,
Faedraar says, "No, I would rather die than leave these people."
It's just the guards, right?
No, the citizens like left, but like there are lots of guards, and who knows what these things are gonna do if they're let loose, you know?
Yeah, and from like a player perspective here, there are other citizens, just not in this immediate area. There's only a couple dozen down in the safety of the cave, so
Yeah.
there are
But
plenty.
I will not be the only one dying today.
What is Vet doing?
Like I said, I don't think I actually know Faedraar's name, so I'm just gonna keep calling him the large one. That's okay.
Large one.
I think-
Little one, big one.
Which one? You're thinking too small. You could be a very powerful tool. Dying here would be a waste. Come with me. The kingdom has fallen. The will is right for the taking. We're not even gonna get paid at this point.
I have
And,
little ones. I have children here.
You would rather die here than be with them, because I'm not living for myself.
And I'll rub the kobold talon necklace around my neck.
They will die here if I don't. And Faedraar is going to start getting up and presumably to drag this thing, but that's not going to be till later.
Right.
So it seems like Faedraar is looking to drag this thing away. If that influences any of
which
what
is-
you want to do.
Yeah, which is
I'll
important
use-
because you are
Yeah.
on their back. So
Yeah.
I'll use telekinetic movement to move from crowns. Like you said, we're on top of a mountain. Like, where would we know where the nearest edge of this place is?
yeah, the castle itself is up against an edge. So if you just go over towards like the side of the castle,
How far away is that?
it's probably almost 200 feet from here.
Oh, fuck.
It's a distance.
Well, let's see if we can move at 5. It'd be a bonus action. You see,
We need to
cliff, and I'll hold my head and just focus on the golem, trying to move it. Be a 15.
That is that Dex?
Strength.
Strength. That's a 12.
It moves 5 feet.
Oh,
Yep,
It moves.
just a little scoot. Okay.
That was just my bonus action kick.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Next, I'll slash at it with the whip. With advantage. So, Faedraar is like still holding on to this thing, though. We moved with it a little bit, you would say. Oh boy, that's good to know before I do this. Oops,
Probably.
go ahead.
Do we all
Yeah.
have rope?
I think I have.
I know I have rope.
I've got a whip.
Oh,
I got rope and a whip.
Aston has
the
rope.
whip made me think
Mm.
of that. So like, I'm just saying, if we all drag it.
See, who needs to drag it when you can just do this? I'm gonna hit it with the whip.
I'm gonna punch a rock.
That's a 16 on the good one and a 3 on the bad one. 16 plus 7 is. I think that hits.
Yeah, it does.
So the whip is a D4, and I'm gonna pump Psionic Strike into it.
Okay, is this your last one?
I have one more that I'm saving.
Gotcha.
One more dice that I'm saving.
Gotcha.
And let me see what damage I get on the 4 on the D4 plus 3. That's 7 damage on that. For the Psionic, I'm gonna be trying to push him. I believe it's 15 feet after I attack. And this is force damage, not like any like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me D8 actually. Let me see what I get on the D8. It's a 4 plus my intelligence, which is a 3, so 7 damage.
Okay.
7 force damage. Does the force damage seem like it's hurting it at all?
Yes, not as much as you would like for it to be, but it does seem to be affecting it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth the brain aneurysm it's giving me. that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. So, down below in the cave, the 14-year-old, who will introduce himself as Killian. Killian will. The plan is rush to the edge. Draw as much attention as possible, and maybe even get as many of the guards as possible to draw attention to the edge. Have this golem coming for the edge and then getting out of there. That was the goal. Adelaide provided a little bit of climbing gear, which is what her and the attackers probably used to get up here, because there's no way any of them came through the gates. So Adelaide provides climbing gear to Killian to kind of, even if he's hit and pushed off of this thing, he's still hanging on and not plummeting to his death. So that is the plan on that end. So instead of just going through multiple rounds of dragging this golem over to the edge, we are going to skip to... There we go.
Oh, so we're at the edge of the cliff, yeah?
Correct.
So this whole time, Faedraar has almost been like doing a chant. So and it seems like they're listing off the names of like, but they sound like kids' names. But it sounds like 30 different names that she's cycling through, and it seems like this is what she's doing to motivate herself to keep going. And at the edge of the cliff, Faedraar finally tosses the golem over to the edge, and I'm going to use my last metallic breath to do a propulsion breath, just in its chest as I'm pushing it off.
Okay.
And that's a 16 plus 3, and then with advantage.
For your athletics, yes, yeah, with advantage.
Yeah. And then a 15 plus 3, so that's 18.
Okay, so noted. I'm going to also ask. I'm gonna ask Vet and Kenny, what do you want to do in this moment as well? We'll do this all at once. So it is able to break free from the grasp for a moment. Once it gets all the way to this edge, I rolled a natural 20 with a +6, so 26 to stand up, and fight back here. But you see fire breath building, about to erupt right into its chest. So you see that about to happen as it's standing there. It's about to take its attacks. What would the two of you also like to do simultaneously with this breath attack?
Orange fashion.
Telekinesis?
Yep, that's what I was gonna do.
Kenny would like to get out his whip and see if he can whip it round the feet.
Nice.
To knock
pull.
it off.
Okay, so I'll
Or
have...
just pull it towards him so its feet come down.
Oh yeah. So y'all could both do that on either leg, and then as a bonus action for Vet, do the telepathy thing.
True. But I'm up on your things. I would have to aim pretty low to get his feet.
That's true.
Yeah,
Okay, do I have to make a save for the breath?
And the
yeah,
telekinesis.
that would be a deck save.
Alright,
Strength save.
The breath is a 14,
DC 15.
and the strength is a 13.
DC 15.
Sweet, fail both.
Do you just want to see if I hit?
Yes, make that attack roll.
Well, that was... Uh-oh, lost it again. 20. A 20.
You can't hit it if you can't keep a hold of your dice.
Oh, I know.
On the table, please.
Yeah, no, I rolled a different d20 and I got a total of 20.
Okay. Okay, Faye and Vet, what are your ACs?
17.
Mine is 19.
Okay. Okay, so Vet is gonna take 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and Faye is gonna take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. As all of this happens at once, the breath explodes outward, slams into the golem's chest. The whip lashes out, wraps around the ankle, and you pull as hard as you can. It's heavy. You hear the stone like scrapes against the earth before it comes up. And that pull in combination with the breath isn't quite enough to do it. And then that telekinesis slams into it, and you see it fall over. Do you hold on to your whip?
No. Oh, that was my favorite whip. Fuck.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
All right, so there's like a moment where you're like trying to flick the whip so that it unwraps. You're like, come on.
Yeah.
And as the golem is beginning to fall over the edge, you just you take a couple steps forward and you just let it go, and you watch the golem topple over. The three of you like rush over to the edge and you look down. You see the golem heavy, falling, slamming into various parts of this mesa before it hits hard enough to bounce away enough to not hit anything else, and you just see it spinning and spinning until it finally you hear the distant rumble as it slams into the earth below. Now we are over. I'm gonna make a roll for this here. Okay, so it was an intelligence roll for the golem, and I rolled a 2, and I have a -4.
Hey!
So
So,
-2.
is there anything in particular you wanted to shout at these guards to get their attention as you and Killian are standing over at the edge?
Baston stands up and points to a couple of the groups of guards and says, "You all, make him come over here," and points at the golem. And when they look at them like they're crazy, they make crazy eyes back at the guards and say, "Now," and then they take the 50 feet of rope out of their pack, and begin tying it around the waist of Killian, and they say, "Look, kid, it's better to live like a hero than die like a hero, and you ain't got to die today. So I'm gonna tie you off to something, and if it gets bad, just jump. I'll make sure that you'll be all right." And so we're gonna tie the rope off to something sturdy, and say, and then just say again, "Remember, if it gets too bad, just run. There's no shame in that. You're a big hero today." And then draws their maul and stands about halfway between Killian and the golem, and starts whistling like obnoxiously loud, just like that crazy whistle, like the big loud whistle.
Yeah.
And they start doing that a whole bunch.
All right. And at that too, Killian starts almost working up his courage, and then he starts shouting towards this golem as well. This iron golem turns. Let me see. Nope. All right. This iron golem turns towards this group as the guards are clanking against their armor. They're just clanking their swords and backing up towards this. They're not sure exactly what the plan, what's happening, but they're backing up towards the two of you. And as they're getting closer, they see the rope on the waist, and they see places where it's tied off, and they see how close we are to the edge, and most of them catch on. Some of them are standing stupidly close. But they're all, banging on their armor with their swords, kind of shouting. And you see this golem look over, and then you see it kind of straighten up a little bit, and then its feet as it just starts running toward the two of you. Well, all of you, but especially the two of you. For this last little encounter here, I would like to re-roll initiative. Just to see how this is gonna work out here.
That's a 10.
Natural 20.
Dang. That's the 12. I think that's what I rolled before.
Yeah. Natural
Yeah.
20 plus 3.
I got a 6 total.
All right.
It's been a very tiring day for Canny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faedraar's exhausted.
I have a headache.
Bastin is like loving every bit of this.
Wow. We all rolled real bad except for Vet, who was like, natural 20. Everybody else is like, nah.
I'm having the time of my life.
Okay, so Vet is going to be up first. You hear the stomping. As you look over, you see the iron golem sprinting toward the other side of the castle. And you assume sprinting toward probably friendlies. What would you like to do?
So it's not heading towards in the opposite way.
It's not heading towards you guys.
We should probably go get that.
I'll say, and I'll actually hop off of Faye this turn.
Okay.
Faedraar's huffing and puffing and just... Yeah.
How far away is the golem currently? Would you say?
Pretty far. You dragged that one a pretty far away. It would actually probably be more beneficial for you to try to head it off as it is sprinting forward. If you were going to try to get closer to it faster, meeting it is better off. It's too far for any spells or anything like that.
Gotcha. Would I know if it's heading towards another cliff face or not?
You would assume. The cliff face, goes around the castle, so yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll burn both of my actions to dash.
Okay.
And I'll use my bonus action to knock myself 5 feet as a willing creature. So
Perfect.
95 movement this turn.
All right. Just hops off and then just speeds away. Bastin is next.
All right, Bastin pulls, gets a steady grip on the maul and squares up as the iron golem is charging, and sets their sights on its legs. The idea is they want to just kind of sweep out from under it, knock its legs out. So let's.
I'm gonna have you roll for that, but not tell me what it is yet.
Aha. Okay.
All right. Faye,
Yeah.
what would you like to do?
Well, presumably I would like to follow after our local little one. So, we'll do that.
Right. Just use.
Faye just kind of picks themselves off the ground and
Just so tired. Just keeps going. All right. Perfect. Canny, what would you like to do?
So just so I've got it in my head, the metal golem is running in the opposite direction to where we dropped.
Correct. Like here's
Okay.
the castle. You dropped them on this side. It's running on this side of the castle.
Right,
So.
got you. So everybody, having noticed everybody's running, he's like, oh, no more running. Ugh. And then he turns around and sort of does his
All right,
best
just
to keep
full,
up.
full
Yeah.
sprint. All right, perfect. Now it's my turn. I rolled a 6 for my. No. I rolled a 4 for my initiative, so slow. Okay, so this iron golem, on its turn, does not get its poison breath back. But it is going to sprint forward. As it is coming forward, it is cinematically shoving some of these guards, just like Hulk style, backhanding them. The guards are going flying in various places. And as it gets close enough, what was your attack roll against this thing?
It was a dirty 20.
Oh, all right. So, let me roll some dice real quick. Ooh. All right. Math. Okay. So, as this thing is sprinting forward, it does take it takes 2 slam attacks. Not down like this. It's trying to backhand everybody away. It's gonna hit and try to backhand Killian and Bastin at the same time as you're swinging too. You slam into this thing's foot as it's rushing past. Its backhand kind of comes after the fact, hits you, lunges you forward. I rolled a natural 20 on that attack. So that is going to be 46 points of bludgeoning damage. Boosh! As it just slams into your back, knocks you over. You feel like as you fall onto your hands and knees, blood kind of comes up in your throat from this slam. You see white behind your eyelids, and you hear an impact as it also backhands Killian.
No.
But this,
No!
this, your attack against its foot seems to have tripped it up, and you hear stomp, stomp, and then crashing and crunching as it is falling down off of the landing. We are currently out of initiative. The 3 of you round the corner just in time to see this golem like just step off the side. You see guards laying there like holding their sides.
Where did the kid go? I don't. Fuck the guards. Where's the kid?
You don't see the kid.
All right. Well, I don't even know about the kid.
You don't even know about the kid.
So, the golem went over the edge, and Faedraar Bastin looks a little fucked, right?
Oh yeah. Bastin is like down and not laughing this time. Not even a little bit. Like not even a little bit funny. This is not fun at all. Bastin looks worse for wear.
To stumble over to him because they look the worst off out of kind of everyone here. So they're going to stumble forward and then just on their knees just kind of scoop them up, and you actually see Faedraar like their claws dig into their shoulder and they rip off a scale and kind of shove it into their chest. And I'm going to use Draconic Healing from Gifted the Dragon to cast Cure Wounds.
That's nice.
I didn't write down what Cure Wounds is. It's like 1d4.
It's all the hit points. I get them all back.
Yeah. Plus
Yeah.
4.
It's
Okay.
full healing. Yeah.
I wrote this down at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, and
1d8 plus spellcasting, so that would be Wisdom, D8.
At seeing this, Canny is completely sort of agog, sort of
That's an 8 plus 1, so
wondering
9.
what's going on.
Yeah, and as you're sitting up, Bastin, you're kind of sitting up. This healing is beginning to happen, and you look around, and you don't see Killian.
Yeah, I want to scramble towards where the rope was tied off.
Yeah, you quickly kind of half crawl before you stand over to the rope. You see Killian hanging, like holding onto the rope. Like, oh my god, did we do it? And he just kind of looks up.
Faedraar is gonna no, do not cut the rope. Faedraar is gonna follow and what is a kid doing here? Little one here, and he's going
Picks up
to
that
pull
again.
up, pull up and just kind of pick him up. And did you volunteer a child for this?
Bastin is so proud of this kid, and it doesn't matter that it's a kid to Bastin. So they, as Killian is being pulled up over the edge of the cliff, Bastin is like grabbing him by the wrists and like picking his arms up and stuff, and they say, they go, oh, good, you're bleeding, and they find this like kind of nasty spot on Killian's shoulder, and they pat it, and Killian winces, and he goes, and they say, oh, that's your first battle scar. You did good today, kid. And then they untie him from the rope and then cough and hack up some blood and
Yeah.
pray for a better day.
And after a little while, citizens begin coming back up from the rope that led down to the cave. Prince Carlisle comes out, Adelaide comes out. Everyone's kind of, doing whatever it is they're doing currently. But those paying attention, you see Adelaide walk over to the crown that is kind of laying in some bloody dirt, picks it up, and you see her kind of wipe parts of it off, and she turns to Carlisle and she walks up to him. She hands it to him and she says, I am not proud to call you my brother, so make me proud to call you my king. And she turns around and leaves. Tell me, it could be in the immediate future, it could be in the near future. How does this story end for each of these characters?
Harry, I wanted to ask this. He was given the crown by the cliff, right?
No.
Oh, damn it.
No, they're over closer to the stairs and stuff.
Damn, I had a funny idea, but
Just yeet it off the cliff.
something was gonna go off the cliff with the crown, but
Right beside!
How does the story end for you? Well, everyone else kills them because they killed the king. No, so...
Well, I wasn't gonna kill the king. I was just gonna take the crown and jump off the cliff and fly away.
Oh, you! I thought you were gonna push him.
No, no.
Got it. Yeah, how does this story end for each of these characters?
Respectfully looting the corpses.
Checks out.
If they're still alive, I won't take their stuff, but I won't help them.
Snooping through and someone's like, help me, and you're like, oh, sorry. And you just
I'll wait
turn
5 minutes, I'll be back.
I imagine that this whole event has probably made a couple of orphans, like at least a handful. So Faedraar is going to go around like checking on kids, and probably adopts a few of them, if they're looking for it, and actually goes up to Bastin holding Killian, like Killian's hand, being one such child who was unfortunately made an orphan by this incident. And he says, well, despite my disagreement with the use of child soldiers, you did good today.
And Bastin just sort of shrugs and smiles. He says-
And
so go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
He shrugs and smiles, and they say, I'm thinking about staying for a while.
Oh, here in Falmouth? That's good. That's good. I was just thinking, given the new influx of little ones at the orphanage, I could use a hand. Maybe train up some little warriors.
I'm sorry. This is Doug laughing, not Bastion. I love that shit so much. Oh, so much. Okay, sorry.
Wow,
Bastion
just doesn't even know your name. Hey, wanna be parents?
Yeah. And this makes so much sense, right? So Bastion looks around and says, "Sure, I need to keep an eye on the king anyway." And
Right.
I know that's how Bastion's story is.
And you, little one, and Killian is talking to Vet actually and says, "We take all manner of little one if you are looking for a place to stay. At
My
least for a little
tea.
while."
Not my kind of tea. If you ever ditched a dead weight and want to have some real fun.
I'll
And,
keep that in mind.
Yeah, I actually wanted to follow the sister of the prince because I don't know. She at least seems like someone that had more smarter than him. And
Okay, make a.
yeah.
I'm gonna have you make a perception roll.
Oh baby, that's 14. Wait,
Rolled a natural.
15.
I rolled a natural 20.
Hmm.
So you know the path that she took. You can follow. You can try to find her.
I was gonna fly to catch up with her too.
Okay, yeah, you can try that. Maybe that story will continue one day. Who knows?
Hmm.
And,
Also,
how
how much gold did I
does-
get from the bodies? Sorry.
We'll go over that.
Faedraar is going to turn to Kenny and say, "Though I disagree with my message, you did well enough," and kind of pats him on the shoulder. "What will you do now?"
Well, I don't know what tomorrow has in store, but I think I owe you all a drink.
Killian, you will have to wait until you're older,
Nah,
but
he can have one as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bastion is
No,
just shaking their
hero-
head no.
hero of Falmont.
He's
Maybe
earned it.
have one free.
and
So we go and party.
King Carlisle comes over to all of you. That flew off to go find Adelaide, but King Carlisle comes over and looks at you, looks at the guards that he has left, and looks at the keep, or the castle that has the whole front of it just destroyed and demolished, and he says, "We have a lot to accomplish here, and not just on the landing. Let's get started, shall we?"